The trade conflict between the United States and China is entering a more intense phase. As President Trump continues to impose higher tariff and port fees on Chinese goods, Beijing has responded with its own measures, including restrictions on rare earth exports and an investigation into the U.S. technology company Qualcomm. Both nations are escalating economic pressure on each other, even as diplomatic talk appear to be stalled. Despite these growing tensions, Trump maintains that a trade deal is still achievable, with a meeting planned with President Xi Jinping later this month in South Korea. The ongoing tit-for-tat action indicate a challenging environment for global trade. As of October 15, the United States and China have implemented retaliatory port fees on each other's vessels, marking a significant escalation in their trade dispute. The U.S. is now levying a charge of $50 per ton on Chinese-owned or operated ships, while China has imposed a fee of 400 yuan, approximately $56 per ton, on American vessels. Both countries intend to increase these fees annually. Major shipping corporations such as Costco, Maersk, and CMA CGM are expected to incur billions in additional costs, with Costco alone potentially facing $700 million in the first year. China contends that these measures violates World Trade Organization rules, while the U.S. asserts they are necessary for national security interests. These escalating fees are projected to disrupt global supply chains and lead to higher consumer prices. The impact of the trade war is already visible, with China's export to the U.S. reportedly falling by 27% in September, as Beijing actively redirects its trade focus toward markets in Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa. President Donald Trump has further threatened an additional 100% tariff on Chinese goods by November 1st. In response, China has tightened its export control on rare earth materials and seized purchase of U.S. soybeans. With a November 10 deadline for a potential trade deal looming and both leaders anticipated to meet in South Korea, analysts are warning that the conflict is venturing into unprecedented territory. They suggest that there will be no clear winners, but rather increasing negative consequences for consumers, workers, and the global trade infrastructure. European leadership finds itself in a complex diplomatic position, simultaneously navigating the internal division over Ukraine and responding to the shifting foreign policy of the United States. This was evident at a recent summit in Egypt's Sharm el-Sheikh, where European leaders gathered to celebrate what was touted as Donald Trump's landmark Gaza peace accord. Figures like Hungary's Viktor Orban and Germany's Friedrich Merz used the platform to urge President Trump to extend his diplomatic efforts to Europe by mediating in the Ukraine war. Other leaders, including France, Emmanuel Macron, Italy's Giorgia Meloni, and UK Keir Starmer, echoed support for Trump's diplomatic breakthrough in the Middle East. This united front abroad, however, masked deep domestic vulnerabilities and policy disagreement within Europe. The scene prompted Russia's UN envoy Vasily Nebenzia to mock Europe's political clash as a leadership of dwarf, a comment that reflects Moscow's perception of a weakened and divided Europe. The summit highlighted a central challenge for European capitals, presenting a united international stance while managing internal political battles and determining their own strategic autonomy in the shadow of a changing American foreign policy. Meanwhile, a separate wave of violence has erupted east of Gaza City, with explosions reported due to confrontations between Hamas and groups it has labeled wanted and outlaw. Saudi state-run Al-Hadad News reported that Hamas targeted individuals it identified as collaborators with Israel who held position in Gaza City, and later cited Hamas as confirming engagement with these alleged collaborators in a large-scale campaign in Judea. Disturbing video footage from Gaza reportedly show Hamas fighters executing Palestinians accused of aiding the Israeli military, with religious chants accompanying the public shooting. These executions, carried out without trial, are seen as Hamas' brutal assertion of control following the withdrawal of Israeli forces from the region. Reports also suggest clashes with rival families, including the Dagmash and Darmush group, resulting in dozens of fatalities. This chilling footage underscores the growing chaos and fear in Gaza as internal power struggles escalate amidst a fragile ceasefire. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. Given the escalating US-China trade war with retaliatory port fees and increased tariff, alongside the dramatic collapse of President Trump's peace 2025 plan due to renewed violence and alleged execution in Gaza, what do these two seemingly separate but equally intense global flashpoints suggest about the current state of international stability and the effectiveness of diplomatic resolutions in major conflict? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.